Welcome to ONNX. Just some housekeeping. All of the community meetup presentations will be recorded and made publicly available afterwards. Reach out if you want access to those videos earlier. And I will pass it on to Saurabh to go over the governance.
Thank you, Krishna. Thank you for hosting us on behalf of the steering committee. We would really want to thank all of you for, it's never easy to set up an event like that. And also AMD has recently been very active. I would also want to thank Krishna for a lot of contributions he's made to ONNX in a very short duration. As a community, it's always heartening to see new members come in and help ONNX evolve. So thank you again so much for your contributions and ongoing. So we had, some of you may already know, we recently had elections. Thank you all of you for voting. And we have a new member, Krishna, in the steering committee. Mayank over there is representing the steering committee too. And then we have Prashant Pulavarthi also there. I am Saurabh. These are some of the SIGs that we would want to cover. In subsequent sessions, we will have SIG representatives come and talk about what's been going on there. Is there an echo in the mic? Okay. Architecture and infrastructure SIG is essentially we have regular ONNX releases. We add new operators and stuff like that. So once the package is delivered, how does it get distributed? That's what's covered there, and we'll cover more into details about it in the next session. Operators is one of the most important SIGs that we have. It covers evolution of the spec, new data types and new operators being added there. Then we have converter SIG, which is about models getting generated from one framework and getting converted to ONNX. And then we have the model zoo and the tutorial SIG, which is again where something Krishna also contributes to. This is where off-the-shelf models can be downloaded, bleeding edge models get contributed, quantized model gets contributed, and now we have a new tool chain which is called Turnkey ML, which makes it relatively easier to get ONNX models onboarded and generated. Next comes the compiler SIG. I don't see Alex here yet, but he'll be joining us soon. He is also a participant of the or chair of the compiler SIG. This is about MLIR loading into ONNX, and he can cover into more details what's going on that front. Lastly, we have the optimization SIG. We have Freddie Chu and Justin also here, who can talk more about what it is. The optimization SIG is about you get a model, how do you get it in a more deployable form? Imad earlier mentioned about quantization as being an important part. So that's why we have recently formed this optimization SIG to help the broader community to generate models that are compressed and are cheaper to deploy. Okay. The community is growing, as you can imagine, and Imad also emphasized on that. ONNX is essentially becoming more and more a de facto standard in the industry, widely used. This slide could be a lot bigger also. A lot of companies are using them. We just don't a lot of times hear about them. So definitely it's a place where a lot of bleeding edge innovations are going on and is broadly supported as PyTorch is also exploding, as the other frameworks are also exploding, and ONNX is also seeing some exceptional growth. And these numbers are, luckily PowerPoint doesn't run ONNX, or maybe it does. I don't know. What's going on here? Thank you, buddy. So these numbers are a testament of the growth that we are seeing. As you're seeing, imagine in 2017 when the numbers were, nobody had even heard of it, and now we have more than almost 19,000 repos dependent on ONNX. Monthly downloads to 5 million now, 4.8 million, and that's just growth 79% since just 1 year, right? And the number of pull requests all of it, we're continuing to grow. We should all be very proud of our contribution, and we should all be thankful to a lot of contributions. Some of you have helped build this brick by brick. So thank you. Thanks. As one of a participant of ONNX with you, I feel very proud of all the contributions that you have made here too. If only I know how to use Google Docs. Okay. All right. Okay. We just had a recent release, almost a month or so back, the version 16 release. This was a pretty significant update that happened to ONNX with the explosion of generative AI. A lot of new data types was added. 4-bit flavors were added. 16-bit integer was added. And essentially now you have an easier path to decode and run generative models like Llama and Phi. It was very heartening to see that the day the SLM, which made such a huge noise, on the same day you had an ONNX flavor showed up and it was up and running. Right. So we have gone from a time where you had a lot of hoops of conversion from one to the other to a day where you have a bleeding edge model show up and it's ready to be deployed in ONNX, right? And definitely, these are just one-line items, but a lot of hard work went behind it, and it's fairly a lot of details are behind it. If you want to go and learn more about it, this is the link. The ONNX GitHub continues to see a lot of activity. If you have questions, basic questions, if you're new to ONNX as an ecosystem, if you have questions around it, we have Slack channels. Quite a lot of activity happens on that front too. So you can pose your questions there. So again, thank you for your countless hours of work. And you can subscribe to our calendar. We have a lot of these SIGs that I mentioned earlier. These SIGs have their regular cadence meetings. And as you hear from every SIG owner what's going on over there, you may be able to see what's relevant and what's more interesting for you to attend. And the calendar, you can subscribe to those calendars through these links. And again, these slides will be posted, and you can follow up on that. And I think this is pretty much my last slide from the steering committee. Do you have any other questions from anybody? Nope. Okay.